Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Milwaukee Beer Review and another episode of Hop Takes. As always, I'm Josh.
And Ross.
And tonight, we are going to take a trip to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And we are going to try, as officially and for the first time, 2 Barrel Society members here on this channel. We are going to try one of their recent Barrel Society releases. It is a fan favorite. It is one that they brought back this year for the first time in several years. What the heck are we drinking tonight, Ross?
So we are drinking a Bourbon Barrel-Aged Uber Joe. So this is a Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout with coffee, cocoa nibs, and vanilla, coming in at a measly 14.9%, which is ridiculous for this beer to be 14.9%.
It's a night of the week, Ross. Here we are.
Yeah. No, I do remember Uber Joe back in bomber bottles and like the blue U and everything with the $2 above it, like it is here. And I don't think I've ever had it before though. Maybe I tried it once way back in the day. I don't remember much about it though. It was before I really knew much about Three Sheeps. So,
yeah, coffee, cocoa nibs, vanilla, bourbon. How can you go wrong?
alley. Yeah.
Let's crack these things open and get a hop take. From what I remember about this beer, it will pour nice and dark. It is a stout. And it is a little bit of a brownish tint to it, but dark brown. Nice cocoa colored head on that. We're both using the brand new 2024 Three Sheeps Barrel Society glasses right there. Beautiful little glasses.
Yours poured better than mine. I didn't get much head on mine. I kind of was a little bit easy on mine, but I can see on yours. I can see on mine. It's got that nice tan head to it that we like to see barrel-aged beers. Very reminiscent to the KBS. I think is one that really reminds me of that. But yeah, it's a nice barrel-aged head.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. I think this is probably like the Three Sheeps version of a KBS in a way. Maybe with even chocolate and vanilla kind of flows with the KBS theme.
Yeah.
So to the nose we go.
Oh, man. So Three Sheeps has a very distinct barrel-aged nose. It's a good char on theirs, and I don't mean like it doesn't taste like burnt or smoky, but you can tell it's a good barrel char that really comes out in their beers. And I don't know what they do to get that, but and I say it's very obvious, and if I did a blind taste test, I guarantee I'd screw it up. But to me, it's very distinct when I smell it.
To me, what I always get, I agree with the char side, but I always get like a bit of like a roasty vanilla. Like a roasty vanilla is kind of what I get on the nose of almost every barrel-aged beer from Three Sheeps. And that vanilla character is always kind of there on all their barrel-aged stouts, and we're huge vanilla fans in barrel-aged stouts, and I think that plays it up pretty well. But it's always like a creamy vanilla roasty nose.
Yeah.
This one, you get chocolate, you get a little bit of bourbon, that roastiness and the vanilla. That is a good smelling beer.
I will say the one surprising thing on this is I don't think the coffee note is as prevalent as you would think it was reading the description.
No.
It's not a bad thing, but you would expect more coffee coming out.
Yeah, it's not a super strong coffee nose. We didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
So, smells good, though. Let's check it out.
All right. Cheers.
For Joe. It's definitely there on the palate.
Still not as much as I would expect. Really good fudginess on this one. Good vanilla. This, when we made the comparison to KBS early on. Outside of the head, It's a completely different beer. There's no bitterness to this. This got a little more sweetness to it. To me, the chocolate really comes out, and the vanilla sweetness and the coffee balance it out in the back end.
Yeah. Body on this is medium, like mouthfeel, like medium, medium to heavy. I get a decent amount of coffee up front, and I do get bitterness from that coffee up front, but the fudge and vanilla characters kick in mid palate and really kind of tame that down really, really fast. Like I get it right up front, but then it sneaks up underneath, like it kind of slides underneath the fudge and the vanilla characters, and they blend together really well at the back. It's creamy. It's got like a creamy-ish mouthfeel out the back end. It's a Three Sheeps barrel-aged stout with a little bit of coffee and a little bit of extra chocolate character.
Yeah. And I think I disagree with you a bit on the coffee, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't take anything away by me not getting a coffee, you getting a coffee.
Oh.
I just think when I think of coffee stouts or coffee beers that we've had, you get that slight bitterness. You get kind of that whatever the coffee brings to it, and it also depends on the coffee they use. To me, this is good. It's tame though. I like the fact that some of that cocoa nibs and the vanilla and the barrel characteristics really come through and shine on this one. Now, as this warms up, because I'll be honest, mine's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Just pulled out the refrigerator before this. I wonder if, as this warms up, we get more coffee and things out of it. But no, it is really good. This is really tasty.
While we were sitting here and I was waiting for you to type up your email for 25 minutes, mine can was sitting out.
Okay.
And it's gotten a little bit warmer. And I do think, to your point, as this warms up, a little bit more of the coffee probably comes out of it. When it's real chilled, it's probably a little tamer. But it's still not like crazy in here. It's just a really, really good barrel-aged stout. And Three Sheeps never disappoints. And it does not drink like a 14.9% beer. I do feel it a little bit in my chest. Like I feel a little bit, it feels a little bit hot, but like it's not. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I agree. It gives you that warming feeling.
It does. It does. But it doesn't drink that way. It doesn't drink that way at all. I think it's for a 14.9% beer, it's really approachable. Of course, who are we to say that?
It's got barrel characteristics without the booziness, as I think the way I kind of look at that. So
yeah. Okay, so putting this one in Untappd, and there's going to be a lot more Three Sheeps coming, folks, because we've got a lot of Three Sheeps beer hitting the channel this year.
I got my boxes over there on my Three Sheeps still.
So 2024 Uber Joe here on the channel. What are you giving it in Untappd, Ross?
I'm going to be a little harsh here.
Okay.
I'm going to say a 4. Still very good. Still, I really like everything you have going. But as we tend to do sometimes on the show, we say if you're going to put an adjunct on there and it doesn't come out, that's the only reason. It's taste alone. If they just said this is a chocolate vanilla barrel-aged stout, 4.25 easy. But because there's coffee, if someone orders this, they want that coffee note. I don't think it's there as much. Now, still a damn good beer. Still a really solid 4, but because I'm not getting as much coffee as I was hoping, just going a little bit lower.
Okay. So for me, and you heard me say this, I'm getting more coffee on here than it sounds like you are. And I don't know if that's the temperature of the beer, what it is. In my opinion, all of the adjuncts that they mention on the can are here. I do think that the coffee is a little more subdued than you might get out of a traditional coffee stout. However, I think it's okay in this beer because you've got vanilla, you've got chocolate. You don't want that coffee to completely overpower those characteristics, or you're just going to get all coffee. You get a barrel-aged stout here. Like there's coffee beers we've had in the past, like for example, from Third Space. like do a great job with Mystic Knot every year, but what's the one thing you don't get out of that beer every year? You don't get barrel character. You don't get bourbon. You don't get spirit. You get that here. And so for me, this is a 4.25 beer. It's not a 4.5 beer, but it's a 4.25 beer. There are other Three Sheeps beers that I've had that are definitely better than this. That's why I'm putting it at 4.25. It's a freaking really good beer.
It's a
And for
great
those of
beer.
you,
It's
yeah. And for those of you watching on the channel, if you haven't been up to Three Sheeps, if you haven't gotten up there, haven't gotten a chance to try some of their stuff, because it is a little harder to find, like even in the Milwaukee market, it's more difficult to find some of the more rare stuff that they put out. Make a trip up there. It's worth it. It's well worth the drive. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely, completely agree. We always like going up there, and we only make it up there a few times a year, but it's great. I just need to make it up there sometime when it's warm and the doors are open. I'm always up there when it's cold. I never really get to see a place like in full bloom and everything.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, when we go up there together, like, it's just you and me. We can bring stuff home for our wives. They don't have to come with us. It's perfect. It's like the perfect adventure. So,
I hope they don't watch this one.
she's listening.
Oh.
All right. So, good stuff here from Three Sheeps. Fun to get some of their kind of more rare barrel-aged stuff on the channel. I do think they still have some of this in the tap room, though. We were just up there last week, which was the 22nd of March, 2024. And they had some still in the cooler. So you can still find this up there depending on when you go. All right. Anything else? Ross, anything to add?
Nope.
All right. Check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Untappd. We are on Twitter. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see all of you in the very next episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.